The dating phase is one of the most important phases in a person's life, and being very intentional about what happens in that phase is the determinant factor on whether you are going to have a breakup or avoid one. And that's why in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 questions to ask him as an elegant woman in her dating phase. Are you an elegant woman watching this video today and you just met a guy? You guys kick-started things, you've been talking, the heart has been tingly, everything has just been rosy and beautiful and just luscious and glorious and I'm here to tell you, I want to bust your bubble actually. Slow it down, okay? First and foremost, I want you to slow down all of that and stay focused. Because this phase you are in right now is actually going to determine whether or not you are going to prevent a potential breakup. And I'll explain exactly what I mean. You are in a phase called the dating phase. And I have defined this phase as a phase where you guys are just talking, getting to know each other, to see what happens or where the relationship goes. This is a phase where there are no commitments made yet, or there are no serious commitments made yet. You guys are still just trying to get to know each other. In my honest opinion, and as someone who truly cares about you and is rooting for you on a daily basis, my advice would be for you to take things very slow in this phase. I usually advise any young lady who cares to listen to give this phase at least 3 months. During that time, there is no commitment whatsoever. It's just two people talking, getting to know each other and working on developing a friendship. Now, I say 3 months because 3 months is enough to uncover any form of fakery that a person brings, because a lot of guys, and I'm telling you this even from experience, a lot of guys come masked in something they are not just because they want to get something from you. And as a woman, you actually have more to offer a guy than a guy has to offer you. Let's leave that debate for another day, but it's the truth. So a lot of guys just come masked up in sweet words. They come try to win you over with sweet words. And you know we fall for the things we hear a lot. They come maxed up in treating you to date or hang out and all just because they want to get something or satisfy a masculine ego. Not necessarily because they care about you as a person. So this 3-month period is enough time for you to now discover or find out whether or not this person is for real, or is just there to waste your time. 3 months is enough time to uncover the fakery, because nobody can actually really stay acting or in their acting form for that long without breaking out of character for you to now see who they truly are. And so that's why I thought it best that in this episode to share with you 10 questions that you must ask him or you should ask him during this 3 months phase. Number 1 question on my list would be, with regards to being in a relationship, are you looking for a long-term commitment that will lead to marriage, or just a short-term affair for the fun of it? Now, this particular question will help you determine what his true intentions are. And you need to also be mindful of the answer that he gives you and see how his answer aligns with your own answer. So you might not be looking for a long commitment. He might not be looking for a long commitment. You guys just want short-term commitment, and that's okay. So if he says he's there for the short term and just wants to have fun, then by all means, carry on. Whatever happens in the short term is between both of you. But if your goal is to have a long-term commitment that leads to marriage, asking him this question lets you know what his true intentions are. And when you are asking this question, I always advise that you ask the question in person, so that you're not just listening to what he's saying, you're also reading his body language, you're reading his gesticulations, because those things actually also give away a person's true intentions. Sometimes someone can be saying something with their mouth, but yes, they mean another thing with their actions. So you need to be present and be very alert when he's answering the question. So what are you here for? Are you here for the long-term benefits, that will lead to a potential marriage, or are you here just for the short term, just to have fun, so that we can just boo up together, go out, have dates, and whatever is involved in your long term? So whatever in your short term, I meant to say. So ask this question, and what your goal is as a lady must be aligned with what his goal is as a man. And if the goals are not aligned, then I don't think there's any need going further in the relationship. I promise you guys, this always helps to avoid heartbreaks. It always helps because you already now know what his true intentions are. If it's not aligned with yours, it's time to walk out the door. There are many fishes in the ocean. Stop keeping and waiting and holding on to somebody who is not aligned with your goal at the time of your meeting. Does that make sense? Cut and roll. Now, the answer to the first question determines whether or not you are going to continue to answer the rest of the questions, right? So if your goals align, then fine, by all means, let's continue. The second question you would ask him would be, tell me about your childhood. Now, this is a very important question that you must ask anyone who you first meet, because you want to know what growing up was like for them. This lets you uncover what their growing up experience was like, so that you are able to determine what childhood traumas or what childhood issues is maybe presently hampering or affecting their lives right now as adults. We all know that the person's formative years actually is what determines their life as adults. Your foundation is very important and is very vital to your life as an adult. So you want to know what the foundation of this person is. What makes up your childhood? What are your childhood experiences? What was it like growing up? Where did you grow up? Who did you grow up with? What are your values? This will let you know what formed and shaped his life as an adult. This information is very critical because it helps you know the kind of mindset that he has, what he thinks, how he reasons. And that's why you must, and as a matter of necessity, ask this question. And when you're asking, again, pay very close attention to the answers that this person is giving you. Because I tell you, it actually would also help you know whether you guys complement each other in form of values, or you also know the kind of baggage you are about to deal with. Do you understand? You know whether or not you can deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, back also, like, take to your heels, okay? Don't be carried away by, oh, hi, have you eaten today? Oh, did you sleep well? Bullshit. Leave that to the side and get down to serious business. You have a whole life to get to that if it eventually works out. But now you want to build a solid rock foundation by asking these very important questions. Okay, the third question you must ask is, what is your relationship like with your family? This one is also, in fact, all the questions here are very important. This will give you a basic knowledge on, give you an idea of his character, especially with regards to his family. And again, pay close attention to how he answers. If he has a nonchalant attitude towards answering the question, you understand that something is off somewhere. Like maybe he didn't really have a good family experience, or he's not in talking terms with his family. You want to know all those details. Like you literally want to pay attention as he's answering the question, so that you get to know, okay, is he family oriented? What is his character like with people? Does he like the idea of family? And if you're big on family and someone who you want to start dating or you want to call your partner is not big on family, you can see where the misalignment is. And then of course, even if he's not big on family and you are, and then you kind of like ask this question and share your own point of view on why it's important to be big on family, listen for his response, because his response would allow you to know or determine whether or not, okay, he may not be big on it now, but he may be open to it in the future, or he may be open to the idea of it. Maybe he just doesn't know about it. But just pay attention and let your instinct and your guts guide you as you are asking these questions. But the third one is definitely, what is your relationship like with your family? Okay. The fourth question you ask this Mr. is, what is your purpose in life? And what are you currently doing to achieve them? Someone who has already discovered their purpose and working in the line of it won't have a problem answering this question. The only people who will find this question offensive are the people who aren't working in the line of their purpose. Another category of people who won't find it offensive are people who maybe never have heard of the concept of purpose and working in it, because truly there are people in this world that we are in who have never heard of what it means to have a purpose and work in line of it. And you can't really blame them. Maybe they just have limited knowledge, and that's okay. But that now lets you know, okay, who you're dealing with. This person doesn't even know he has a purpose. If you have empathy, you can stay and teach him and coach him and guide him on his purpose. But girl, if your goal is to get someone who is already complete, whole, fully formed, high valued and all of that, then you have no business trying to coach him about his purpose. Let him figure it out and maybe meet the next person, to be quite honest. But let's face facts, okay? But anyone who is already working in their purpose may not be fully maybe at the highest potential or the highest capacity of it. I mean, no one can ever be at the highest capacity of it, but someone who is already working in the purpose would answer this question and let you know where they are. In fact, they will be excited that you're asking this important question, because it lets them know that you're also interested in knowing what his purpose is, because as the leader, he needs to be leading you somewhere. He now understands that you are also asking this valuable question because you want to know where the direction he's taking you to. So this is a vital question you need to ask. What is your purpose in life, and what are you currently doing to accomplish that purpose? You want to know this, and it must be a very crystal clear answer. Okay, remember, the Art of Speaking Eloquently and Elegantly course is currently still up, and we're currently running a discount as well. This course is for anyone who wants to improve their communication skills, express their ideas and thoughts eloquently, whether in their personal lives or in their professional lives. You just literally want to level up this thing called communication. This course is definitely for you, and you need to take advantage of the discounts that's currently on as well. So click the link in the description box down below to get all the information you need about the course, and of course how to access it as well. Let's get back into the video, shall we? The next question is kind of linked to the last question, and it is what you are doing with regards to work what you actually want to do? Are you fulfilled with what you're doing currently? And then you can also say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with the current state of the life you're living now? So it's all embedded in one. What you're doing with regards to work, is it what you really want to do? Are you fulfilled doing what you're doing? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with the life you're currently living now? This is 3 questions in one. This gives you an idea of where he is at on his journey. Someone who says he's maybe 8 on a scale of 9 on a scale of 1 to 10, who is at a 0.8, is living good life and he's excited about his life. Someone who says he's on a 0.2, you know that he still has a long way to go. So all of these questions pretty much just give you basic knowledge of where you're going to be starting your journey from. And even if after asking all these questions, of course, the most important thing you should be listening to is your instinct and your gut. These questions are just guiding lines or guiding points just to let you become aware. So you're not living in ignorance. Ignorance is not an excuse anymore in 2024. Asking questions is what gives you answers, so that you know what you're working with. And if your gut is telling you, go with this guy, and it's your true gut, not just your heart doing tingly inside there, and it's your true gut saying, be with this guy. These questions are just supposed to guide you to know exactly what you're dealing with. So you know the amount of work you have to put into the relationship. You know how to handle or tackle, how to strategize correctly in maybe helping the guy, because some women are about helping. There's a good part of that. That's another topic for another day. You know what your role is in helping building him up and all of that stuff. I don't know if I hope that makes sense. So these questions are just guiding points, and this 5th question would definitely let you know exactly where he's at on his life journey and how much more road he needs to cover to get to where he truly wants to be. Okay? After dealing with the issue of life's purpose and what your work is and family, next question is, this one is very important. This is the 6th one. Why did your last relationship end, and how did you handle it? Very important. This also gives you a sense of his character, his attitude, what he's like, whether he's a kind, compassionate person, whether he's someone who has empathy. Also lets you know, gives you an idea of what his last relationship was like. Let him not give you a shallow answer. Dig deep. What happened? What happened? Like, it can be anything. I really don't want to give an example, but it can just be anything that happened. This question has many layers to it. So based on his first response, you know the next question to ask, but you want to know. It's important that you know what happened in his last relationship and how he was able to handle what actually happened. And then hear for his response and watch his behavior and his attitude when he's answering the question. The next question I put down here that you should ask him at this point is, what are your fundamental and your moral values? What are the things that are most important to you that have formed the foundation of your whole existence? Now, this would now bring in this aspect, you get a little bit of religion, you know what his religious beliefs are. This is where you now even get to know whether he's Christian or Muslim or who he serves. It also now guides you to know, okay, if you're Christian and he's Muslim, is this something you want to do? If he's Muslim, you're Christian, is something you want to do? You get to know, okay, can we not? All of that is very important. And apart from the religious or spiritual aspect of it, what are your moral values? What do you uphold as principles or as guiding principles? Are you trustworthy? Are you honest? Are you a loyal person? Do you value respect? Are you family oriented? What are your moral values when it comes to sex? When it comes to the opposite sex or dealing with the opposite sex? What are your moral values? Something means something that's important to you, that is a standard that is unshakable in his life. You need to know what that is and find out if it aligns with yours. And before you be asking all these questions, you better have moral values of your own. Because if you don't have moral values of your own, why are you asking somebody if they have moral values of their own? Does that make sense? So all of these questions you're asking, you also be sure that you are very knowledgeable in your own life as well, so that if he throws the question right back at you, you know how to answer, okay? Next question I've put down here is, what do you understand by the concept of emotional intelligence? Do you even know what that means? What does it mean to you? Are you emotionally intelligent? How do you resolve conflicts? How do you deal with your emotions? How do you manage your emotions? What are your emotions like when you're angry? What are they like when you're happy? Get to know him. Of course, another thing you should notice when asking these questions, you're not asking like he's about to write an exam or a test or something. It's not a serious affair. These questions are questions that should be asked in a serious manner, but lightheartedly, from a lighthearted point. Maybe you guys are just chilling on the bed and you just ask, so babe, what is your idea of emotional intelligence? I saw this post somewhere and we're talking about emotional intelligence. I just want to know, what's your take on it? Maybe you're chilling, maybe you go out on a date and you don't know what to talk about. Pull out one or two of these questions. Don't be asking the question in chronological order. You sit him down, you're like, okay, sit down today. Number one, what is your number two? No, that's not what I asked you to do. Remember, this is a 3-month period. You have a 3-month period to assess and observe and understand this guy. And during this 3-month period is when you are asking these questions. Does that make sense? Not that you are sitting him down one day and like, okay, bring out your paper and your bio and answer these questions. That's not what I mean, okay? Make it fun, make it exciting, make it lighthearted. Don't be too serious about it, but be serious about it, okay? I put down this 9th question with the assumption that the goal of both of you is to have a long-term relationship that will potentially lead to marriage. And that's why I've put down this 9th question as, what does marriage mean to you? And why do you want to be married? Don't fall into the trap of people who are married for the very wrong reasons. Guys, I have asked a lot of people because I'm very deep and passionate about this topic of marriage. And one of the main reasons why I'm not married yet is because I still want to understand what marriage is all about. I've come to the resolution that marriage is not for everybody. Even Apostle Paul said it. He said, I wish everybody would be like me and stay away from marriage because marriage comes with many, troubles. Apostle Paul said it. He said it's not for everyone. But if you decide to choose it, I wish you all the best. But I wish that everyone will be like me, according to Paul. And so, because of the way marriage is and the way society is about marriage and what's been happening, I have decided to take several steps back and ask, Kilo Shele, what's up with this thing called marriage though? Because I don't want to go into marriage and now be living a substandard life. God forbid it will never happen. And that's why I'm taking the time to work on myself, work on who I am, so that I can become a full, complete, whole value woman who gives herself in total submission to a complete, whole, high value man. It's very important to me. So this question is a very big question you're asking this guy. What does marriage mean to you, and why do you want to be married? I don't want to get married to you if all you want to be married for is just to have children. I don't want to be married to you if all you want to be married to me for is just to have sex all day. No, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to be married to you if all you want to be married for is just so that I can be your companion. No, marriage must mean something deep to you. It must have a deep meaning. You must have a deep understanding of why you want to be married, because let me tell you, your reason why sometimes is the only thing that actually keeps you in a relationship. It's the only thing that keeps you in a marriage. And that's why your reason why has to be solid. If it's not solid and it's on a shaky foundation, I promise you, the marriage is not going to last. So, what does marriage mean to you, sir? What does it mean? And why do you want to be married? As a woman as well, you also need to have a solid reason why you want to be married. Again, marriage is not for everyone. Stop feeling ashamed that you're not married. I saw the other day on TikTok, some chick was crying, talking about how she's 30, she's unmarried, no family. And I'm like, girl, you better pick yourself up and go live your full life, because you have a whole life to live. I'm not against marriage. I love marriage. I love happily married people. But it's not the whole essence of your being. Okay? So if marriage is important to you, you must also have a clear, solid reason why you want to be married. Not society's reasons of so that you're old enough, or you're getting old, or you need to have children, or you need to give me grandbabies. Grandbabies? Please. The 10th question that I've put down here on my list is, what is your primary love language? There's a book, it's popular, that lists out 5 love languages: the quality time, gift giving, words of affirmation, physical touch, and acts of service. Those are the 5 love languages according to the book. But I mean, there are other love languages. But if you take some time to critically think about it, yeah, everything is kind of like encapsulated into those 5. So you want to know what your partner's love language is. Some people's love language is physical touch. Some people, quality time. Someone like me, I'm very big on quality time. In fact, all of them, I'm big on all of them. But my priority is quality time. I'm also big on physical touch. I'm also big on gift giving. I love thoughtful gifts. So just find out, what is your partner's love language. This gives you an idea of what is actually important to the person, or what's important to him, and see how it aligns with yours. And then it also gives you an idea of how you can, to see if you actually have what it takes to meet his primary love language. Let's not lie to ourselves. Sometimes we don't have what it takes to meet our partner's primary love language. If, for example, your partner's primary love language is physical touch, he likes to be touched. When you guys are laying in bed, he always likes a cuddle. He's big on intimacy, he's big on sex, and you have a standard that says, oh, I can't have sex, or I don't mind cuddling you, or maybe you don't even know how to kiss. Don't know how to kiss the guy. And his big love language is physical touch, and you say you want to be compatible. Avoid a heartbreak, okay? Of course, there's so many other questions that you ask. There's 1,000,010 questions that you must ask, but these 10 just gives you like basic knowledge, basic solid knowledge that you need to know whether or not you should advance. My dear elegant ladies, please don't be carried away by the wishy-washiness of, is he tall, is he handsome, is he fine, or how does he dress, or how well-mannered is he. Those things are physical surface nonsense, I call it. Focus on the deep stuff first. Don't start to build the house of your relationship from the roof. Start from the foundation, okay? Just don't care about what his social status is. He may be the one who is driving the... I'm telling you, guys would do anything to get your attention. And if they know that you're very superficial, you're only focused on what car he drives, what wristwatch he's wearing, they will go and borrow things just to come and fool you. And once you are fooled, they get what they want, they move on. Don't be that person. Dig deeper. There is a deeper thing to talk about, and these 10 questions actually help you navigate the very first phase of the relationship. Don't be the girl who is only concerned about how much he has in his bank account, or what car he drives, or whether he stays in Ikoyi or VI. Don't do that. think about the deep, most important stuff. And like I said before, these are not questions you ask like he's writing a test or an exam. No. These are questions you bring up at different points or at different times during this 3 months phase of you observing, learning, and understanding the guy. When you guys are watching TV together, you ask. Maybe you're watching something and something pops up and is related to one of these questions. You just quickly ask. So, babe, what is your concept of family? Do you like the system of family? Like, do you understand the family system? How is it important to you? Just ask. Maybe you're having dinner or you're taking a walk around the park or in the neighborhood. You ask these questions. Don't ask in chronological order, like I said. And that's all that I have for you for today's episode. And one last thing I put here before I go is, I said that these questions not only protect you emotionally and mentally, they also let the man know that you're very serious and intentional about the things you want. A woman who is definite about what she wants, you can tell with the way she talks, the questions she asks, and all of those things. And this lets the man know, over here, there are no games. So if you're coming here for games, I'm very serious about what I want. It helps you weed away the weeds, helps you take them out of the way so that you're focused on people who are only serious about you. Anyone who is here to play with your life or play with your heart, by the time you start asking them these questions, they will know that you're there for serious business, and they will fall off the bandwagon before anything happens. So be intentional and be serious. Take back control of your heart. I'm always rooting for you, and remember to stay very elegant. Take care, guys.